Hello friends, this is another special version of the Bugatti Chiron hypercar, of which there are already a dozen, but there is an interesting legend built around it. Everything starting in 2020 with the debut of the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport coupe, which was produced in 60 copies. All these cars of course were quickly ordered, but some customers wished the same but with a less aggressive body kit. And in the fall of 2020, Bugatti engineers began work on another modification called Chiron profilee. When the development and testing were completed, it turned out that the entire production run of 500 Chirons had already been distributed among customers, and it is impossible to include a new version into the production program, and then it was decided to build at least one commercial Bugatti Chiron profilee so as not to throw all the groundwork into the trash box and keep it in metal, so this single specimen is in front of us. The new coupe does have a more relaxed design, closer to the base Chiron. Instead of a big anti-fender, a neat ducktail is on the stern. However, the front air intake still had to be enlarged, plus a modified splitter is installed at the front. The profilee version is painted in a special blue color Argent Atlantic, which has not yet been used for the Chiron's model, and for the first time fabric inserts are used in the interior. They decorate the doors, the front panel and the central tunnel. The power unit is the same as in Pure Sport version. 8-liter W16 engine with 4 turbochargers produces 1500 horsepower and 1600 Nm. 7-speed automatic transmission with 2 clutches has closer ratios and other settings. And here are revisions to the chassis carried out according to a less radical recipe, compared with the Sport version. Spring stiffness was increased by only 10%, while in the Pure Sport variant by 65% in front and 33% behind. As a result, the Chiron profilee can accelerate to 380 km/h against 350 km/h in the Pure Sport version. Acceleration time in two versions is the same, 2.3 seconds to 100 km/h and 5.5 seconds to 200 km/h. The only commercial instance of Bugatti Chiron profilee hypercar will be sold at RM's Sotheby's auction, which will take place on 1st February 2023. And then who knows, perhaps some waiting customers will rush to reorder and ask to have the same special Chiron made for them. Bugatti will hardly go on principle and refuse. And before we continue, I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you want to be the first to know about all auto news. I'll be very pleased. Alas, the guesses turned out to be wrong. The car called Alfa Romeo Giulia SWB Zagato that was announced a few weeks ago is not a traditional coupe or even a 3-door shooting brake. Milan atelier Zagato has built a hatchback with a sloping back on the third door, on the basis of Giulia. Behind this car there is a curious history of creation. Last year was a sensation of cooperation of Alfa Romeo and Zagato. The first joint model, Tipo G1, saw the light in 1921. To celebrate this anniversary, the partners decided to create a new joint model, and to finance this project was quickly found a collector from Germany, in the garage of which there are already many cars with the design of Zagato studio. But the development and construction of the unique car was delayed, and it is presented only now, a year and a half after the anniversary. So the basis is an extreme sedan Alfa Romeo Giulia Quad Folgio is an early version with rear-wheel drive and a manual gearbox, but the twin-turbo V6 2.9 is modified according to the specification of the small series version's Giulia GDM, that is, it produces 540 horsepower instead of standard 510. As enciphered in the name of the car, the Giulia's rear-wheel drive platform is shortened, and not only the wheelbase is smaller, but also the body overhangs. However, the main attention in the atelier Zagato paid to design. 3-door body is made of carbon fiber and has no common elements with the serial Giulia. Designers tried to play with the looks of all models of Alfa Romeo, including racing cars of the 60s, and didn't forget about Alfa Romeo SZ Coupe of the late 80s, which shape was also created by Zagato. The most striking in all senses reference to the SZ model is headlights with 3 sections of running lights. There is also a roof with 2 bulges. It is a trademark of Milan atelier, but the interior of Giulia remained almost standard, except that some standard panels were replaced by carbon fiber. Front installed bucket seats with the original upholstery, and the back row is not at all. Instead of it, half the safety cage. Alfa Romeo Giulia SWB Zagato is made in a single copy, and it will soon be handed over to the customers. The price of the car isn't named, and about the issue of this model even a small series is out of the question. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope this video wasn't boring and you enjoyed during watching. I wish you a good mood and see you soon. Bye.